This is Southeastern 16 presented by FanDuel. I'm Chris Lee, joined by Chase Robinson and Jay Greason. We are previewing Arkansas's road trip to Tennessee, 3:15 Central on the SEC Network Saturday. The Vols about 13.5-point favorites at FanDuel as we do this. We'll get into previews and picks in just a minute. We are presented to you by Game Time Sidekicks, officially licensed stainless steel drinkware, all SEC schools, 350 other universities, stainless steel sippy cups, tumblers, 40-ounce bottles, and shaker cups. SE16 gets you 20% off your entire order at GameTimeSidekicks.com. Also brought to you by the Hall of Fame app. Smart bettors rely on data. Hall of Fame hands you powerful analytics at your fingertips to tilt the odds in your favor. Improve your chances of winning using historical data, matchup grades, trends, and player performance insights. Hall of Fame was created by Ivy League sports geeks to let everyday fans bet smarter. For a limited time, listeners get a 7-day free trial and 50% off their first month. Just use the code SE16 at checkout. Download the Hall of Fame app on iOS or Android. Use code SE16. You're all set. Well, Arkansas is all set with a new coach, Jay Greason. Sam Pittman on his way out the door. Bobby Petrino takes over the Hogs, where we know he can coach offense, but defense kind of remain to be seen if that can show up for a change in a place where somebody's going to need to get a stop somewhere.
Or they just need maybe to incorporate the overtime approach, and everybody goes for two, because the over-under on FanDuel set at 69.5 tells you that they expect 10 touchdowns to be scored, and most games have a grand total of 17 or so possessions. Chris Wilson's the new defensive coordinator. He was the assistant defensive line coach before Bobby Petrino told 3 defensive assistants to hit the bricks in the staff overhaul after the debacle against Notre Dame. And this offense is better than Notre Dame's offense. I mean, simply put, Josh Heupel calls better offensive plays, and that Notre Dame offense went there and put more than 100 on Arkansas and company the last time they took the field. I mean, the coaching overhaul is unbelievably a storyline here. But if you're going to believe in X's and O's or Jimmy's and Joe's in the college game, you got to have the dudes. And right now, I don't know how many defensive dudes. Man, they could have primary Belichick calling defensive plays, and I don't know if they got the dudes that can stop Tennessee, Chase.
And that's what I was going to say. Like, you can change coaches all you want to at this point, but I just haven't seen the talent there defensively. Like, I don't know if that was the problem. Like, you know, maybe it was, maybe they weren't playing hard or whatever, giving up, and it kind of looked like it at points. But yeah, I don't see the talent really there on that side of the ball, and that's going to be an issue. That's going to be an issue against Tennessee, who their offense has been great so far. They have multiple playmakers. They can, like you were saying, they're better than what we've seen from Notre Dame offensively. Like, this is an elite offense at Tennessee that I just don't know if Arkansas has the personnel to slow down.
Yeah, I think both teams have struggled defensively, guys. But Tennessee, of course, the Vols have missed some guys with injuries, things like that. Don't know what the health report's going to be. Might want to check that. But I guess the question that's on my mind, Tennessee has a bye week, right? Well, I guess both of them are coming off bye weeks. I'm just curious, like Arkansas, I guess the wins haven't been there yet. But this is a team that looks like it can play with teams on the right day, if the defense could get anything resembling a stop. But you've also got the motivation factor for the Vols. I think this team, Jay, will certainly be ready, that is Tennessee, for what's ahead, given what happened last year, which almost could have wrecked a playoff berth, but did not.
Well, and I think you phrased that appropriately. I'm not saying this is going to be – I think Ole Miss has been galvanized because that one loss to Kentucky cost them a spot in the playoff. Tennessee still got in the playoff last year, but last year's showing in Fayetteville, I'm certain will be referenced multiple times by Josh Heupel and his staff. And look, man, when you've got a quarterback with the talent of a Taylen Green and his duality, you've got a chance to, especially against a team. Look, we always say, okay, Taylen Green's great, Ahmad Hardy's great, Trinidad Chambliss is playing tremendously, but they can't play defense too, you know? Yeah. But what Taylen Green can do is generate enough points to fulfill the conversation of sometimes your best defense may be a very good offense. And Arkansas has the ability to put that kind of pressure on you. And I think in some ways, honestly, this may sound mind-blowing. I think in some ways this is good for Arkansas to be going to Knoxville because it could be a half-empty stadium. There could be, if they were playing at home with the unrest and the turnover and the angst, a whole lot of folks from West Tennessee, it's easier to get to Fayetteville than it is to Knoxville to watch your Vols play. Well, if you start fast on the road and the home crowd that has playoff aspirations, a home crowd that already has a loss, a home crowd that realized the stakes, if they start to get, if the sphincter gets to a point that you can't put a greased BB in there and the team feels it. You know what I'm saying, Chase? In some ways, if you don't get off to a good start at home in these type of games, it gives confidence to the opposition and you start to feel uneasy. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. That most certainly makes sense. I agree with that. Like, I think that it is in a good scenario for Arkansas. A lot. I'm just really interested to see this Arkansas team, like with the changes that were made. Because again, to me, watching the game against Notre Dame, it seemed like they gave up. There's no way around that. They gave up. And like, what has changed in the last 2 weeks since Bobby Petrino is the interim head coach that is going to give them motivation? And sometimes you do see teams, UCLA, for example, this past weekend, a team that lost their coach, and boy, they looked motivated playing that game Saturday. Like, are we going to see that? Like, I'm just so curious of what type of Arkansas team we're going to see, especially on the defensive side. Because again, coaches changes there on that side of the ball. Like, I don't even know what to think about Arkansas at this point, just because I haven't seen them under Bobby Petrino with all the changes that are being made. But yeah, so that it intrigues me of them going to Knoxville in that situation. But yeah, I do agree with you there with the not as much pressure on them.
Chris, to that end, I am curious. We talked about it a little bit in the green room about the motivation factor, and are some of these people about to make a business decision involved in Arkansas? Conversely, though, if they are going to make a business decision in this era of college football, in a moment like this, you're an independent contractor. Bobby Petrino is coaching for a job he wants to have. All these guys are, hey, you only get a finite number of chances to put NFL tape down or portal tape down. Are you then going to be, the business decision may be to show up and show out?
Yeah, look, Tennessee is a big favorite in this game, and it should be. And I think in these games we're going, okay, it all lines up for Tennessee to win. The most interesting angle, and my goodness, I mean, this is college football these days. Every weekend we have a couple of these that nobody saw coming. Like, and in some cases, this has got a little bit of a tie into this game here, what UCLA did last weekend to Penn State. But Arkansas, I'm just going to give you some numbers, guys. And I'll give you, this is the concern if you're Tennessee. Arkansas averaging 37.4 a game, 25 first downs, running 67 plays a game, total offense of 515, yards per play, 7.7 per snap, 8.5 of those on offense. Tennessee's defense, some of this is tempo, right? Because opponents are running 77.5 snaps a game against Tennessee. That's incredible. Tennessee's giving up 29 points a game. It's only giving up 4.8 per snap, but 373 total. And teams are throwing the ball 53% of the time against the Vols. Some of that because they're playing from behind for sure. But I think you're concerned if you're Tennessee. Again, on a per play basis, this defense has not been bad. They're forcing turnovers at just over 2%. Arkansas's problem on offense has been turning it over. They're turning it over on 2.5% of snaps. So that's part of your issue too. If you're Arkansas, you got to hang on the ball. But there is a scenario here with Taylen Green, Jay, that Arkansas, I think, can push Tennessee well into the second half just because he is so good. And some of it may depend on how healthy Tennessee is defensively. We'll wait for that health report. Jermod McCoy's been out all year. But I'm just saying, in a landscape where you see stuff every Saturday that you're not expecting, there's where you paint the picture at the start of an upset.
Well, absolutely. And I also think kind of the unrest, we always talk about if you're going to make a change, make it into the bye week. If Bobby Petrino wants to be a serious candidate for this job, he's got to pull out some stops that, look, Sam Pittman was the problem. And if you're Josh Heupel, you're talking to your defensive staff of, boys, y'all got to be ready for anything and everything. So if you're talking about a recipe for an upset, Chris, and on the unpredictability of any given Saturday, which is really playing out because nobody saw UCLA over Penn State as a 24.5-point underdog at home. This is, Chase, an opportunity that the mad scientist, the motorcycle volleyball-loving former Atlanta Falcons coach can go to the drawing board and dial up damn near anything.
And you're right, he's had 2 weeks to work on this. And you can imagine there's no telling what his script looks like that he has for his first couple of drives against Tennessee, because I think we are going to see a lot of different things from him, maybe some things we haven't seen that he's been storing up for such a time as this. But I think that we're going to see a lot of variety offensively for Arkansas for sure. And yeah, he's coaching for the job. And so I think that puts some pressure on him too.
Now, here's your problem if you're Arkansas. Your defense has been atrocious. You're giving up 30 points a game. Now, you face some really good offenses, okay? You faced Ole Miss, Notre Dame, and to some degree Memphis is a good offense. I don't know that I'd put them, in the category of those other teams, but, it's probably your group of 5 playoff team. Arkansas is giving up 425 a game, 6.1 per play. I think that's the worst mark in the SEC. I think the yardage number is 2. They're giving up 5.2 per rushing play, adjusted for sacks, and we know what Tennessee likes to do. And the Vols offense, the numbers are just staggering. Again, they run 77 plays a game, 51 points, 7 yards a play, 5.3 per rushing play. Guys, I think Tennessee's just going to come in and run. I don't think Arkansas's defensive front is very deep. Memphis just gashed them. Tennessee can end up rushing the ball 70 times in this game. That's probably a lot. But, certainly north of 50. Aguilar's going to take some deep shots. We know that. They got some downfield dudes in Brazel and Matthews, so they're not just going to run all the time, or you don't use those guys. But I just don't know how Arkansas gets stops here, Jay.
That's completely fair, Chris. And Arkansas's played a decent schedule. And you're right. The eye popper here is – the last time they came into the state of Tennessee was 3 weeks ago against Memphis. Arkansas is getting up 168 yards a game rushing and 11 rushing touchdowns. And Josh Heupel is so good, so good at embracing the Spurrier methodology of if you can find a scab, you pick at it till they bleed out. And if Tennessee gets success early running the football, Chase, they are going to just run it down Arkansas's throat.
Yeah, it's going to turn into a game of we're going to do this, until you can stop us. And if you can't, well, buckle up because it's going to be a long afternoon. And I think Tennessee, with the personnel they have, they're very capable of doing that.
Yeah, sack-adjusted rush yards that Arkansas has given up, 224 against Notre Dame. Of course, Notre Dame threw it for 417. 313 against Memphis. And then they gave up 187 against Arkansas State. Actually held Ole Miss in check a little bit, I think. But yeah, I mean, it's just been really, really ugly. All right, guys, we're going to get to picks in just a second. Before we get there, reminder, we're brought to you by the Yearly Company, a Nashville-based fine jewelry brand built on tradition and designed for meaning. Each piece is handcrafted from solid 14-karat gold, natural gemstones made to measure for a perfect fit, backed by a lifetime guarantee. Customers build their collections year after year, celebrating anniversaries, birthdays, new beginnings, and everyday moments. Because Yearly Company's bangles are custom sized, you need to know your size. And so to help you do that, the sizing kit, you can get that for free if you're listening to this show by using the discount code SE16KIT. That takes all of the price off that. Perfect place to shop for holidays. Hey, get started on Christmas ahead of time. Just go ahead and get it out of the way now. Go to your Yearly Company, get something for your wife, and help out those who help us. Also brought to you by Rockform. Hey, if you're a fan of defense and you want to throw your phone at some point in this game, have that protected by a Rockform case because they are terrific. Screen protection, super strong magnets, Rock Lock secure mounting. September's the busiest month of the year with new iPhone release. SEC 2.5 get you 25% off your entire order. Also, Hovey Dry Goods. That's your new favorite hat. Your team may stink, but your team's hats are pretty cool. I'm wearing my Titans hat today because I love it. I got several of them. It is my favorite Titans hat. Look no further than Hovey hats for high-quality headwear with the great fit and unique designs. Bad Beat gets you 15% off your entire order at HoveyDryGoods.com. That is HOVI. Jay Greason will do picks starting with you, and I think you had an opinion on the total, maybe as much as you had on anything in this game.
Well, I'm not going to mess around with a total that's getting close to the Klingler days at Houston or Andre Ware. I mean, totals in the 70s can leak away from you pretty quickly if this game gets one-sided, which I think it will. I'm picking Tennessee. I would, as long as it stays under that flip number of 14, I would take the Vols and lay the number. I'm going to be more aggressive in my FanDuel account on first half totals. We talked about Petrino maybe dialing some stuff up, doing some different stuff. I don't think Petrino in any way, shape, or form can slow this game down and be in it at the end. So in addition to being on Tennessee, laying the 13.5, I'm going to be on over 14.5 points in the first quarter. And really just about any first half bet in terms of points, I can make an argument for. But I like a quick start for both of these teams. Arkansas by design and Tennessee by dominance.
I'm taking Tennessee big in this one, not only because of all the changes at Arkansas. I think revenge is on the mind of Tennessee. Thinking back to last year, I think it is a big win in Knoxville for the Tennessee Vols.
Yeah, I just don't see Arkansas getting stops. I mean, a coaching change is going to help you with some stuff. It doesn't help you where you suffer the most. That's on your defense. Nobody rips apart a bad defense like a Josh Heupel offense. Give me Tennessee. A lot of points in this game, and I think Tennessee may even cover the 13.5, especially after the reminder of last year. Anyway, we'll recap this when it's done. So be sure to subscribe to the channel and enable your notifications if you want to get it. For Jay Greason and Chase Robinson, God bless you. Thank you guys for watching. This is Southeastern 16 presented by FanDuel.